Good morning, TikTok, or good afternoon, I suppose. Happy Sunday to you. So, and over here at FICM Repair, this comment came in response to another one of my videos talking about that they love the 80 horse FICM tune and hope they don't mess anything up. Well, I can tell you what, first of all, if you don't yet have a FICM tune, you are not breathing in the fact that God loves you and wants you to be happy. Just here to say, FICM tuning is amazing. It's the least expensive upgrade you'll do to your 6.0. The throttle response gains are unreal, and it'll make it drive a lot more like a V10 would have off the line, with maintaining all your torque and everything else. That said, what can you expect? What can you expect with an 80 horsepower FICM tune, or a 100 horsepower FICM tune, or a 40 horse or an eco tune? That's the purpose of this video. So the eco tune is, and actually let's talk about the 80 horsepower tune first of this guy. I hope I don't mess anything up. Your way to not mess anything up is to not let your exhaust gas temperatures get above 1500 degrees, not ever, and to not go ahead and allow your exhaust gas temperatures to sustain more than 1200 degrees for more than a minute. Technically, your truck stock was 325 horsepower. I don't know what you've done to it since, but stock it was 325. If you have an automatic, the 5R110, really rated very comfortably at 450 horsepower. But there's guys that suggest that number is closer to 500. If you wanted to go ahead and belt and suspenders things, or you just think it's a good idea just anyway, really seriously look at my other videos that talk about the transmission upgrades. So do a search on 5R110 full upgrade kit on our site. And you can see that, hey, this transmission just does not upshift through fourth gear. It shifts 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, which is hard on the clutch pack that causes that shift. So as a result of that, it just kills transmissions, and we sell transmissions, and I'd rather not have to sell you a transmission. So maybe you want to go ahead and do that tranny upgrade to give yourself some extra holding power and just make stuff last longer. But regardless of that, the number one way to blow things up with a higher end FICM tune, because the number one sidebar, casualty, extra thing you can expect with FICM tuning is you can expect that your exhaust gas temperatures are going to increase. And so the more power you're pushing through a FICM tune, the higher your exhaust gas temperatures are going to be. So the drivability gain is best achieved primarily through like the 40 horsepower tune. And that's the reason why probably 95% of our customers choose the 40. But certainly the 80 is the next in line, most common. I would say the vast majority choose the 40. The next vast majority choose the 80, and then there's just token ones of you that choose the eco tune or the 100 horsepower Hercules tune. The eco tune, so watch your EGTs. If you don't have a way to monitor EGTs, pick up a standalone pyrometer from us. Just do a search on pyrometer or EGT on our site. You'll get a metric ton of options, or just buy what you should be buying anyway. Yes, that's right, you guessed it, the Edge Insight CTS3 digital gauge monitor, in conjunction with either the Edge expanded accessory system kit that starts with an exhaust gas temperature probe, or if you wanted to save some money net, you would get their street diesel kit, which includes the EGT probe, but also a digital to analog adapter that supports two analog devices, and of course 2 analog devices, that little transducer there, that little transducer there, that allows you to thread one into your to monitor your fuel pressure, and the other one can monitor either coolant pressure or low pressure oil, as the case may be. But back to the story at hand. What tune am I going to hurt something, right? So you're not going to hurt anything as long as you keep an eye on your exhaust gas temperatures. You would certainly minimize the strain that you're going to create on your transmission by going ahead and getting our 5R110 full upgrade kit. Yeah, this dude right here, but no one is suggesting that you necessarily need that. What we are suggesting is that you'd certainly benefit from that, but that's true of any 5R110 owner. So if you haven't yet watched that video, go to the homepage of FICM Repair, minimally, find the video called, go scroll over to the bottom and find the video called How to Extend the Life of Your Automatic Transmission. You can watch about that. But what most people do is they end up choosing the Atlas 40 tune. Yay. They get their bottom end throttle response that way. They get all the benefits that way, and life is truly good. And then they couple that with an SCTX4, yeah, this little dude right here for 419 bucks in today's dollars, and either run the stock tunes that came with it, or if they're looking for a little something something, they do a search on our site for gearhead, and they pick up some gearhead tunes, whether it's for stock injectors or the larger ones that they might also have. Just do a search on gearhead, you'll see the options. But the Cliff Notes version here is I don't anticipate you having a world, a situation, a thing where you are likely to hurt anything as a result of running a FICM tune. And the reason why is because FICMs, unlike your SCT-based tunes that we referenced a second ago, they don't make their power by advancing the timing. So the piston hits top dead center, the kaboom happens, and the injector pulse width is modified to add proverbial fuel to the fire as the piston is going down south away from top dead center, increasing the amount of volume for that kaboom to take up. So the FICM tunes do not increase the peak pressures that the cylinders are under, they rather increase the duration of time that the cylinders are under that peak pressure. The upshot is that the most bang for the buck and the less black smoke, because all black smoke means is that it's unburnt fuel and it's just costing you money, which just tears at the soul of this particular Midwest kid. I will tell you that the best bang for the buck for most of you is to go ahead and pick up the Atlas 40 and then get custom tuning to go with it on your SCT if you want anything more. That said, if you're towing max weight all the time and you want the benefits of throttle response without having to worry about getting an EGT probe or migrating to a 4-inch exhaust, because the old formula we learned about pi r squared, right? So 3.14 times 1.75 squared is like 9.625 if memory serves. I'm just doing it off the top of my head, so don't crucify me if I don't have those numbers wrong. But if you were to do that same thing, and you say to a 4-inch exhaust, pi r squared, what's the r? What's the R of 4? Well, it's 2, right? The radius of the 4-inch in diameter is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3.14 is like 12.56, I want to say, if memory serves. So 12 point whatever that number is, I remember off the top of my head, then I don't remember, divided by the 9 point whatever that number is, I don't remember, it's like 25% more flow out of your 4-inch exhaust versus your 3.5, and so the net result is a lowering of EGTs. But if you didn't want to, because diesels like to breathe, and down that path we can hook you up with a bigger turbo, with an O-Dogs intake, with an intercooler, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. But if you just didn't want to worry about it and you are towing max weight with an otherwise stock truck, stick with the EcoTune. You'll get the benefits of the low-end throttle response without any of the risk, really, of melting a piston that would come from a more power-generous tune. That said, the more power you're pushing, the better fuel economy you're getting, and so as a result of that, the conversation becomes, hey, do I want the more? And I also want better fuel economy. I don't have a bunch of black smoke. Let me go ahead and just choose the 40 horsepower tune and get the SCT with custom tunes for what I got. Now, that said, the custom tunes for what you got, that's for what you got. It's what you have right now. And so you could elect, if you wanted to, you could elect to say, hey, let me go ahead and wait on the custom tunes until after, because in the short cycle of things, spring is coming and then summer, I'm going to plan some upgrades and I want to pay for tuning multiple times, 100%. So if you wanted to go ahead and wait for those custom tunes until after those modifications were done, you could just get the SCT X4 for now, and you could go ahead and get the custom tunes after those other little go fast goodie upgrades are there for you. So you can get the fuel economy, you can get the power, you can get the fuel, you can get everything that you're after and get the most bang for the buck. But are you going to mess something up with the 80 horsepower tune? I would say as long as you watch your exhaust gas temperatures, you won't. What I like about the 40 horsepower tune is it still allows the truck to behave like a truck. You can still tow even max weight with that tune, but if you tow max weight, just recognize you might have to get out of it in the hills. If you live in like a Utah or Colorado or someplace not Nebraska, just saying, the flats of Nebraska, then it might be that you have to get your foot out of it during those incline climbs, and the rest of the time you'll be fine. So you get the better fuel economy the vast majority of the time, and you'll have to get your foot out of it a little bit on the hills, perhaps, but pick up a monitor, and that way you're not having to wonder. So, excellent question. I hope this answered it. And if you have anything else you need, let us know. We are all in this together. FICMRepair.com, your source for everything diesel. 95 or newer, we got you. Yes, even you Cummins and Duramax guys. So give us a shout. We'll take good care of you. I so promise. Thanks very much. Happy Sunday to you.